So, Kevin, I've got a couple of more questions for you. This one is actually, the last two are completely non-technical, so you might find them less interesting. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Let's find out.
So, I'm curious about because I'm a creative guy. I'm not really a technical person. I'm a right-brained creative guy, writer, filmmaker, entrepreneur kind of person. I'm just sort of surrounded by a bunch of techie people all day. So I'm curious about this project of your test. You've been doing it for almost 10 years. How do you feel about it now? And, what's your relationship with this baby that you've created? And how has it changed over time? Do you still have the desire to keep doing it? How are you feeling about it?
It's a If it was a Facebook relationship, it would be it's complicated.
Yeah.
It's so it started out very much it was a bet, actually.
Okay.
That's how it started. It was a bet from the guy at GoDaddy who ran their hosting company or their hosting division that it was as good as anyone else out there. And I thought, really? And are you willing to metaphorically put your money where your mouth is? Because back then it was free. For the first few years, it was all free because I just use open source tools, and a load testing company sponsored it.
Okay.
And so there was no charge. So it was truly free. And I just wanted to see, is this really true? And I thought it would be an interesting one-off blog post. Yep. That's how they started. And the reception was immediate. People were excited. It was the most popular thing I had done at Review Signal.
Okay.
And I did a second one 6 months later. I published it. That's how fast the turnaround was, because every company in the specialized WordPress hosting said, oh, how do we get in this? Like, do us too.
Yeah.
And so I basically turned around immediately and collected everyone else who wanted to get in and did it again. And it, I think, almost doubled in size overnight. So it was really exciting at the start. And it was this new big thing. And now it's, almost 10 years later, as you say, and it feels like a burden and obligation. Yeah. It's expected every year. That's what everybody, come November, December, January, I start getting messages from consumers like, hey, is there a new one? Like, I'm looking at hosting. I want to know what the latest trend or data is. Like, is it ready yet? And that's what it's kind of become known for.
Yep.
And that was never my intention. And it sort of just took a life of its own. And it's less exciting now, probably. It's much more formal. The scale has grown. Back then, I think the first test had 6 companies.
Yep. And
so it was fairly manageable. It was 6 companies and 2 tests. I think I tested uptime and ran. There was blitz.io was the service back then, and it would just, you click a button, you put a URL, click the button, and it gives you a chart and some data of, we hammered the server, it did this. So that first one was pretty easy. Yep. Now, I'm writing and publishing. There's open source scripts. So as of this year, everything is on K6, the load testing platform, and on Review Signal's GitHub. All the code is there. And I worked with Till from Object Cache Pro to build some of these scripts so that they can easily be modified, so that anyone who wanted to do WordPress benchmarking could take these scripts and do some of the basic functions and have a framework to do it. And that's a lot more work now. I'm writing lots of code to do this. I have to do, every company. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of tests. Yeah. So it's a different experience. And it's become a job.
Will you keep doing it?
I think so.
Okay.
I feel like I have to, and I've not seen anything coming even close to trying to replicate it. Or if I walked away, it wouldn't be like there's other things to replace it, and I'm not sure who would do them. And if anyone, I don't think any hosting company could do it objectively.
Yep.
It would always be suspect, even if you were the most honest and best intentioned and did it as professionally as possible. If a hosting company did it, it would be viewed through the lens of, so
Yep.
I don't see walking away from it.
Okay. Good for you, man.